A pleasant morning to everyone, and welcome to our special event, the inauguration of the PSE Events Hall, which coincides with the listing of Ayala Corporation's Class A preferred shares, which will use the ticker symbol ACPAR. For guests who are visiting the PSE Tower and PSE's BGC headquarters for the first time, here's a bit of trivia for you. This 700 square meter wing served as the unified trading floor for stockbrokers that were based at the Ayala and Tectide trading floors. While their stay here was short-lived, this place has been repurposed. Half of the former trading floor was turned to the new PSE Events Hall. Beginning today, this will be the venue of initial public offering, follow-on offering, and stock rights offering ceremonies of publicly listed companies. It will also host PSE and capital market-related activities. We are honored that this special occasion is graced by very special guests. To formally open the PSE Events Hall, we are joined by House of Representatives Speaker Honorable Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, Department of Finance Secretary Benjamin E. Jokno, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Felipe M. Medalla, Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Emilio B. Aquino, PSE Chairman Jose T. Pardo, PSE President and CEO Ramon S. Monzon, PSE Director Vivian Yutchenko, Ayala Corporation Special Advisor to the Board Fernando Zobel de Ayala, Ayala Corporation President and CEO Cesar P. Consing, witnessed by PSE Director, Retired Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro. May we request our guests to prepare for the ribbon cutting, but for now, please look at our photographers. On my cue, on my cue, please cut the ribbon in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, PSE Events Hall is now officially open. May we invite our guests, Speaker Romualdez, Governor Medalla, Secretary Jokno, Chairperson Aquino, Mr. Zobel, Mr. Consing, Mr. Pardo, Mr. Monzon, and Ms. Yutchenko to please come up the stage to lead the ceremonial unveiling of the market data wall. The focal point of the events hall is the market data wall. Please get ready to press the button that will switch on the market data wall. I will give the cue when to press the button. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The market data wall will display market information as soon as trading starts at 9:30 a.m. For now, we're showing you data that was captured from last Friday's trading. May we request our guests to please face front for another set of photos. To have a better view of the market data wall, we'd like to invite our guests to kindly go down and stand in front of the stage. The upper left side of the wall shows the level of the PSEI, all shares and all sectoral indices. The upper right side displays the market summary, including the number of trades, volume and value, as well as the numbers of gainers and losers. It also lists down the top 10 most active stocks and the top 10 advancers and decliners, including the price and percentage change and volume and value traded on the securities that are on the list. Information on foreign exchange, specifically dollar-peso rate, is also available. The lower portion of the wall displays the heat map of the PSEI constituents, as well as the 20 stocks comprising the PSE Midcap and PSE Dividend Yield indices. After the 9:30 a.m. bell ringing, we will display real-time trading numbers on the market data wall. Please watch out for that. Another round of applause, please, for our special guests for leading the inauguration and official opening of the PSE Events Hall. Before we proceed with the rest of the program, we will have the Philippine National Anthem. To formally welcome everyone to this occasion, may we call on the President and CEO of the Philippine Stock Exchange, Mr. Ramon S. Monzon, for his welcome remarks.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, Department of Finance Secretary, Honorable Benamin E. Jokno, Bangko Central Governor, Honorable Felipe M. Medalla, Securities and Exchange Commission Chairperson, Emilio B. Aquino, Ayala Corporation Special Advisor to the Board, Fernando Sobel de Ayala, Ayala Corporation President and CEO, Cesar P. Consing, officers of Ayala Corporation and their follow-on offerings, joint lead underwriters, PSE Chairman Jose T. Pardo, PSE Directors, retired Chief Justice Teresita de Castro and Vivian Yuchenko. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the new PSE Events Hall. It was just over 5 years ago, on February 19, 2018 to be exact, when we inaugurated at this very location the unified trading floor for both the Manila Stock Exchange and the Makati Exchange traders. Prior to our transfer here at BGC, the Manila Stock Exchange had their trading floor at Tectite, while Makati had theirs at Ayala Triangle. Back then, I never imagined that the trading floor, which many brokers considered integral to their operation, would ever be closed. But the pandemic struck, strict lockdowns were imposed, and eventually the trading floor became a casualty. But as they say, things happen for a reason. And so here we are, all gathered for the formal opening of the new events hall, to be followed by the listing ceremony of the Ayala Corporation's preferred shares follow-on offering. They say that the stock exchange provides a barometer of a country's economic health and prospects. I believe that the presence here this morning of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Secretary of Finance, the Bangko Central Governor, the Chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, signals their confidence in the country's economic recovery and bright prospects, not to mention their strong commitment and support for the development of the Philippine capital market. I believe that we are one in our desire to see the local capital market catch up with its peers in the region. We all understand the urgent need for new products and proactive regulations to improve liquidity in the stock market. Speaker Romualdez, who is a very market-savvy individual, has generously offered to sponsor whatever legislation may be needed to help bring our market back on its growth trajectory in terms of trading volume and stock prices. The PSE is working with its office in this regard. Thank you for your support, Speaker. If you think that it is a coincidence that the opening of this events hall coincides with the listing of Ayala Corporation's preferred shares FOO, I'm sorry to say you are wrong. This was deliberate on PSE's part. Since this events hall will be the venue for IPO, FOO, and SRO listing ceremonies, we wanted its inauguration to be significant and memorable. What better way to achieve this than by having the inauguration coincide together with a listing ceremony of one of the most, if not the most, respected blue chip company, Ayala Corporation. AC is considered one of the pillars in the stock market, having been listed for 46.5 years. It has the most number of listed subsidiaries and affiliates at 12, and the most number of PSE index constituents at 5. These 5 companies accounted for close to a fifth of the PSE index 9.30 trillion peso market cap as of Friday, May 26. In terms of net income, these 5 firms likewise accounted for about a fifth of the 198.75 billion pesos first quarter 2023 net profit of PSE Index member companies. Outside of the PSE Index, AC has 3 affiliates in the PSE Mid-Cap Index and 2 AC-related firms in the PSE Dividend Yield Index. Besides, the exchange has celebrated momentous occasions with the Ayala Group, given that PSE has always had its headquarters in an Ayala property. There is more to be said about the company, more so as its legacy, vision, and thrust always inspire trust among investors. Investors also derive confidence in the leadership of the company and how its management carries out the direction and strategy of the company. The Roman poet Virgil coined the proverb, Audentes fortuna iuat, which means fortune favors the bold, a proverb that Ayala Group apparently believes in and practices. It was the very first conglomerate to list a REIT company, a REIT, and it did so in August 2020, at the very height of the pandemic. How did fortune reward Ayala for its boldness? Well, the market capitalization of a REIT as of last Friday, May 26, has increased 132.04% since its listing date, while the market cap of the other REITs ranges from a decrease of 8.1% to just an increase of 43.11% since their respective listing dates. I would like to congratulate Mr. Bong Consing on his first stock market transaction as President and CEO of Ayala Corporation. I understand the offer was oversubscribed. To be appointed the first non-Ayala President and CEO of the family's holding company, Bong has obviously proven his visionary leadership and management skills during his previous positions with the group. I can attest to this as someone who works with Bong at the Philippine Dealing System Holdings Corporation, where he serves as our chairman. Congratulations again to Ayala Corporation on the success of your preferred shares follow-on offering. And thank you once again to our guests for joining us on this important event. I wish you all a productive day and week ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Monzon. May we now invite Securities and Exchange Commission Chairperson Emilio B. Aquino for his message.
To my esteemed bosses, distinguished guests, directors and officers of the Philippine Stock Exchange, good morning. I'd like to thank the PSE for inviting me to the inauguration of its new events hall, making today an important milestone in the history of the Philippine Stock Exchange. The place where our busy trading floor formerly stood, it is now occupied by this events hall, which will serve as a venue for significant events in the world of capital markets. The opening of this listing ceremonies venue and the unveiling of the market data board signify our shared objective of promoting transparency, growth, and development of the capital markets. Let me point out, though, that the SEC and the PSE have also been engaged and busy working together outside this edifice. There are ongoing roadshows participated in by PSE through President Mon and even SBP COO Roel Refran. in 10 key cities where we have an extension office. The latest of which is in Tacloban. So I wish to thank Speaker Martin for the warm reception we got there. As part of the SEC Supervision 2025, we launched the 888 at 88 goal, where we challenge ourselves to hit 888 companies, tapping the capital markets on the 88th anniversary of SEC, which will fall in November 2024. We adhere to the 10X rule to meet this ambitious target, where we take 10X massive goals multiplied by 10X massive actions given by the expected low number of IPOs and FOOs during these challenging times. What we did tactically is to tap the crowdfunding portals, where we now have over 700 SME issuers. Soon enough, these SMEs will step up and become likely candidates for IPO in the SME board or even in the main board. There's much to be done, including templated online registration statements and other reform initiatives leverage on digital technology. But we have to do them if we want to attain our bold, hairy, and audacious goal for our supervision. That is for our Philippine capital markets to be among the best in the Southeast Asian region. Our better performing neighbors have PLCs numbering within the vicinity of 700 to 1,000. Today, we also witnessed the listing of Ayala Corporation's preferred shares follow-on offering. This corporation, being a beacon and a pillar of corporate excellence, as pointed out by President Mon. This is a momentous milestone for all of us, as this is the first listing event, which was deliberate, apparently by design, to be done in this new events hall. This is an exciting occasion because we know that this paves the way for upcoming listings and heralds in the capital markets. We affirm PSE's dedication to its goal of leading the way in strengthening the capital market sector. This is a testament to our common commitment to promote an atmosphere that fosters growth, innovation, and collaboration within the ecosystem of the financial market. So as we collaborate to generate opportunities and spur economic growth, let us embrace the revolutionary power of the capital markets. Congratulations to PSE, the Ayala Group, and to all of us. Mabuhay.
Thank you, Chairman Aquino. The next speakers are first-time guests to PSE BGC, and so we are honored to have them with us this morning. At this point, we'd like to call on the Governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Honorable Felipe E. Medalla, for his remarks.
Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat, especially to the speaker. Given my background as being former professor of economics, I'll give you a long lecture. No, I won't. This is indeed a great day. Indeed, that a former trading floor creates space for an event hall itself, symbolic of technological change. We need the space now for a lot of things that used to require a lot of space. I'm often asked, what is the role of stock markets in the economy? And the first thing I did was went to Google. What I found out was that it's about, the market cap is about 2/3 of the total assets of the banking system, which in turn is about the same as GDP. So what does that mean? What it means is that over time, of course, if we wait longer, the market cap will probably be growing faster than the economy. So what it says is over time, initially economies are driven by big personalities and families. Of course, it's only appropriate that we're talking about the Ayalas now, or the San Miguels. But over time, as the economy tries to draw more and more financing from everyone, we need capital markets. Of course, the banks usually grow ahead of capital markets, but hopefully soon to follow are other ways of raising capital, which the biggest two of which are the bond markets and the stock exchange. Of course, as Samuelson famously said in the US, the stock market predicted 8 of the 4 recessions, meaning it overreacts. So in a way, the stock market is like your pulse rate, right? You see a pretty girl, it goes up, right? You hear to Professor Medalla, it goes down because he brings you to sleep. But what matters is the long-run average. But you need people who watch the economy 24/7. You need people who watch the companies 24/7. By the way, this creates great value for the government itself because as companies make accounting to their stockholders, the BIR gets a lot of data. It gets harder and harder to have multiple books, and as the government in turn gets more money, the Speaker knows this, it will have more money for financing infrastructure and social development. So this indeed is a great day. It's a great day because it says the Philippines, its capital markets are developing. Of course, from the point of view of the central bank, one area where we interact very closely is the capital markets CMDC. And we talk about all issues of reforms, including tax reforms that we might want to propose to Congress. The other thing we get, of course, is data. For instance, one of the data that we watch in BSP is what kind of money is leaving, what kind of money is entering. And for instance, money is entering the Philippine government bond market. Those are strong signals of what people think about interest rates and exchange rates. On the other hand, the money that comes in and comes out of PSE reacts to a greater range of news, including politics, including calamities, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm very optimistic. This hall represents what could be in the future. An economy where capital markets are more developed, an economy where funding of big projects and activities could be funded by thousands or hopefully even millions of people, a more developed capital market, a more developed economy, which in turn gives you a more developed capital market, and hopefully that virtuous circle, together with the support with our national leaders, like the Speaker and of course the President, will give us an economy that's dynamic and hopefully both one of the fastest growing economies and a very inclusive economy in the region. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Governor Medalla. May we now invite Department of Finance Secretary Benjamin E. Jokno to deliver his message.
Speaker Martin Romualdez, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Philippine Medalla, Securities and Exchange Commission Chairperson Emilio Aquino, PSE Chairperson Jose Pardo, PSE President and CEO Ramon Monzon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. What better way to start the week than here at the world-class Philippine Stock Exchange? I'm honored to witness the inauguration of the new PSE Events Hall, which shall now be the venue for the listing in the exchange of initial public offering, follow-on offering, and stock rights offering shares of publicly listed companies. I'm also proud to have witnessed the unveiling of the Market Data Board and the first listing event for Ayala Corporation's preferred shares follow-on offering. Despite a series of shocks to the global economy, including the impact of the pandemic on our capital markets, tightening of monetary policy, acceleration of inflation, and a global growth slowdown, the Philippine Stock Exchange has nevertheless endeavored to keep pace with the fast-changing financial landscape. In the first quarter of 2023, the PSE added 1 initial public offering and 3 new listings in the corporate bond market. And this includes the first Asian green bond issued by the Philippine Rate Company. There's much work left to be done to further deepen our capital markets and solidify the Philippine stock market as a platform for equity financing and long-term growth. Rest assured that the Philippine government is committed to cementing our place as one of the most dynamic emerging markets in the region. Our latest growth performance points to the remarkable resilience of the Philippine economy. Following a historic 46-year high full-year GDP growth of 7.6 in 2022, we successfully maintained our momentum with a strong 6.4% expansion in the first quarter of 2023. This indicates that the Philippine economy is normalizing and returning to its high growth trajectory despite facing fierce headwinds in the past months. Now, the Philippine Stock Exchange plays an important role in sustaining this growth and maintaining financial stability. We are counting on you to be a strong engine in the development of our capital markets by powering the Philippine equities market with advanced technologies, widely accessible market information, transparency, and robust risk management. I'm confident that your efforts will pave the way towards a more vibrant and competitive Philippine capital market in the years to come. Congratulations and have a good week ahead.
Thank you, Secretary Jokno. Let's now hear from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez.
Thank you so much, and indeed it's such a great honor and a pleasure to be here at the Philippine Stock Exchange, and I'd like to thank the chairman of the board of the Philippine Stock Exchange, our good friend Titoy Pardo, and of course the president, Ramon Monzon. Thank you so much for the honor of the invitation and to be a witness to the unveiling of the new Philippine Stock Exchange Events Hall. I'd like to also acknowledge my friends, members of the board as well, Vivian Yuchenko, and of course CJ Castro, our good friend. And of course, this is indeed also a pleasure to acknowledge our economic managers led by none other, our Secretary of Finance, Ben Diokno, our Governor of the Central Bank, Philippe Medalla, and of course, our Chairman of the SEC, Emilio Aquino. Congratulations, of course, to the Ayala Group, led by our special advisor to the board, Fernando Zobel, and of course to the President CEO, Bongkon Singh, for a most successful Ayala Corporation Preferreds follow-on offering. Congratulations. You've done well once again. Thank you for making the stock exchange a vibrant place, and we'll be witnessing the progress of not just Ayala, but the rest of the issues on the beautiful market data wall. So indeed, such a milestone for the Philippine Stock Exchange. Today's event is a testament of the agility and the resilience of the exchange to adapt quickly, to see and seize the opportunities in our ever-changing state of affairs. In 2018, the Philippine Stock Exchanges were unified in one sunlit edifice. When lockdowns were imposed in the government's efforts to contain the pandemic, the stock exchange transitioned quickly and moved trading activities online. I'm glad to see that the people behind the PSE are not resting on their laurels and are still exercising their entrepreneurial mindset with this latest endeavor. I'm certain that the Philippine Stock Exchange Events Hall will soon be the venue of many, many groundbreaking business offerings. Let me just say that we believe in the capital market. We believe that the capital market plays an indispensable role in the country's economic recovery and development. This is why the very first bill filed at the House of Representatives in the 19th Congress was a measure aimed at providing enterprises with the assistance they need to recover from the effects of the pandemic. Our push for the liberalization of what we deem to be restrictive provisions in our present Constitution is again founded on our firm belief in the capital markets. While the 18th Congress was able to liberalize some investment restrictions through the enactment of Republic Act 11659 or the Public Service Act, we believe more fundamental changes are needed if the country is to realize its full economic potential. Our strong belief in the important role of the capital markets in supporting the national development agenda is also the driving force behind our proposed establishment of the Maharlika Investment Fund, which we hope will be passed either today or at latest Wednesday before we adjourn CNDA. The corporation that will be created to manage the Maharlika Investment Fund will invariably look to the PSE in its search for blue-chip investment opportunities from which handsome dividends may be generated. Dividends which shall be channeled to the fund of the government's strategic and social programs towards the achievement of the nation's larger developmental goals. These legislative measures are just the proverbial tips in the iceberg of the efforts of the Philippines House of Representatives in exerting its efforts to raise further the private sector's overall contribution to national development and recognizing the sector's role as the country's engine of growth. We hope that the Philippine Stock Exchange, the business sector as a whole, is one with the House of Representatives, for we want to push these and other strategic legislative measures, knowing that the advancement of the marginalized sectors of Philippine society not only leads to greater returns, but more importantly, ensures a bright and future for all Filipinos. Thank you again for this kind invitation. Such an honor to be here at the Philippine Stock Exchange on such an auspicious day. Mabuhay ang PSE, mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you, Speaker Romualdez. Again, thank you very much to our guests from government for gracing this event. Since the PSE Events Hall will mostly host listing events of publicly listed companies, it is but fitting that this inauguration coincides with the listing ceremony. And the very first listing that we have is for the follow-on offering of Ayala Corporation. The holding firm reissued Class A preferred shares from its treasury through an FOO, and today they are listing 5.24 million shares under the ticker symbol ACPAR. The follow-on shares were offered at 2,500 pesos apiece. AC is 3 years away from its golden listing anniversary. To date, it has 11 subsidiaries and affiliates that are also listed in the PSE. Let's know more about the synergies among the companies within the Ayala Group that bring opportunities and value to their stakeholders and bring Ayala Corporation closer to its vision.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Life is full of lines. Some are clearly visible, some are not. Some of the most important lines are the ones we cannot see. And those lines are basically the lines that connect people, that connect organizations.
Kapag mag-isa ka, you're only limited to what you know. When you work together, you achieve more. It's going to be impossible to do alone.
Everybody should contribute to that single purpose or that single goal.
This is what binds us. This weaves everything together.
When you make the right connections, then you're able to properly plan for the future. People will have to start looking beyond their personal agendas and making sure that there is a future, not just for ourselves and our family, but for everybody else.
When you find the right partner, everything becomes easier.
It is not a place for a single superstar, it's a place for an orchestra.
Different perspectives, different point of view.
Through those perspectives, you come up with an even better solution.
Everybody needs to believe in the goal. And everybody supports each other in the achievement of that goal.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Kahit iba-iba tayong pinagdadaanan, iba-iba tayong pinatutunguhan, we're all part of a community. Lahat tayo konektado eh.
The real power of working together with others is in 1 + 1 = 3.
We're stronger when we work together. We make connections, creating partnerships one at a time, each connecting to many and all connecting to one. If we do this well, there is no limit to what we can do.
My name's Bobby.
Ana Maria Gonzalez.
Paolo.
Rica Mirador.
Ruel. Rene.
Carla Buencamino.
Richie Santos.
Joanna Sarmiento.
Mark Morales.
Ernest.
Louie Paglinawan.
Ana Maria Sison.
Arthur Tan.
A round of applause, please, for Ayala Corporation. May we now invite Ayala Corporation President and CEO, Cesar P. Consing, to deliver the message on behalf of the issuer.
Honorable Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Benjamin Diokno, Secretary of Finance, Honorable Felipe Medalla, Governor of the BSP, Honorable Emilio Keynote, Chairman of the SEC, Honorable Jose Pardo, Chairman of the PSE, Retired Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro, PSE Director, Ms. Vivian Yuchenko, PSE Director, Mr. Ramon Monson, PSE President, PSE members and guests. Good morning on behalf of our Chairman, Jaime Augusto Zubel de Ayala, our special advisor to the board, Fernando Zobel de Ayala, and every member of the Ayala community. Ayala is delighted to be listing its 3.1 billion preferred shares issue right here, right now, on the occasion of the inauguration of the PSE Events Hall. Ayala was listed on the PSE in 1976. Since then, we have been one of the country's most active capital markets issuers. In the pandemic period alone, our various companies raised a total of 273 billion pesos from the domestic and international capital markets, this in a pandemic. We have been particularly focused on raising capital in support of our ESG-related initiatives. Today, Ayala's outstanding ESG issuances total 93 billion pesos. The proceeds of Ayala Corporation's 13.1 billion preferred share issue being listed today will support our company's many growth initiatives. These initiatives are testimony to the Philippines' renewed growth. Our confidence that the government will provide the policies and administration to support this growth, and Ayala's commitment to serve as a catalyst of this growth. Good corporate citizenship has always been one of our more important objectives. The issue itself saw strong support from both institutional and retail investors and ample take-up from trading participants. Corporate investors accounted for over 60% of the take-up. Ayala is thankful for the support provided by our regulators, particularly the SEC led by Chairman Emilio Aquino, and the PSE led by Chairman Jose Pardo, President Ramon Monzon, and COO Roel Refran. We would also like to thank our issue manager, BPI Capital, our joint lead underwriters and book runners, BPI Capital, BDO Capital, China Bank Capital, RCBC Capital, and SB Capital. Our selling agents, First Metro Investment Corp. And PNB Capital. Our transaction counsel, the law firm of Romulo Mabanta. Our receiving agent, STSI. And our auditors, SGV and PwC. I would be remiss not to thank our CFO, Albert Larazabal, our treasurer, Lito Biacora, and their teams for the hard work that went into the success of this issue. In closing, Ayala would like to thank all of you who have contributed to the success of our preference share issue. The opportunity and honor to be the issue listed on the inauguration date of the PSE Events Hall is truly very special, for which we thank the leadership and board of the PSE. Thank you again, and good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Consing. Please stay on stage and kindly proceed to the bell on the left side. May we invite our guests from government, Speaker Romualdez, Secretary Jokno, Governor Medalla, and Chairperson Aquino to please come up the stage as we prepare for the bell ringing. From PSE, we will have Chairman Pardo, Mr. Monzon, Director Yuchenko, and retired Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro. From Ayala Corporation, may we request the following to join Mr. Consing: Mr. Zobel, AC's CFO, Mr. Alberto de Larazabal, AC's Treasurer, Estelito Biacora, and Chief Human Resources Officer, Francisco Melan. May we please invite on the stage PSE COO, Attorney Roel Refran, we will take photos for posterity. Everyone, please look at our photographers. May we request the Management Committee and the officers of PSE as well as officers of Ayala Corporation to join our guests on stage for a photo op. Please find your spot. Big smiles for our camera. Thank you, PSE Mancom and Ayala officers. May we now call on the presidents of the lead underwriters of Ayala Corporation's FOO to please come up the stage for a photo op. Congratulations for JLUs for an oversubscribed FOO. Thank you to our JLUs. May we now request Speaker Romualdez, Secretary Jokno, Mr. Consing, and Chairman Pardo to kindly hold on to the rope and bell chain as we prepare for the bell ringing. Time check. It's now 9:29. Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds. We are counting down in a bit. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Ayala Corporation on the listing of its preferred shares. Thank you to our guests who graced our double celebration, the inauguration of the PSE Events Hall, and the follow-on offering listing ceremony of Ayala Corporation. May you all have a great week ahead.